or MBR partition style. Okay, GPT or a MBR partition style. What is GPT? What is MBR? So we'll see that one. So first one is I need a paint brush. Second one is disk management. Diskmgmt.msc. You can type in a search also about the disk management. Diskmgmt.msc. Disk management. Okay. I already opened my disk management. You can see I have a drive. Two hard disks I have. One is disk 0, another one is a disk 1. Convert into GPT. You can see convert into MBR. So what is this? Convert into MBR, convert into GPT. What is MBR and GPT? It is disk style. So you go to like this. You type CMD, run as an administrator. Run as an administrator. Okay, first one I will show you. DISKPART. DISKPART is a command to manage your hard disk. Like a disk partitioning, okay, like that we can manage using the DISKPART command. So this is my DISKPART command. I am typing list disk. What are the disks are there? I want to check it. I have two hard disks, disk 0, another one is disk 1. Disk 0, GPT star mark, disk 1, GPT star mark, it is not there. Means disk 0 is GPT type of disk, disk 1 is MBR type of disk. One more I will show you, that is with the PowerShell. PowerShell is also a command prompt, guys. This is also we can do the commands in the PowerShell. Microsoft, both are from Microsoft. Okay. So get disk. It will display your hard disk details. How many hard disks are there? Those details it will be displayed like this. See, one hard disk, disk 0. So it is got changed. The last one. Okay. This is the disk 0. Disk 0 is for 100 GB GPT partition style. Disk 1, it is MBR partition style. It is 1 terabyte of hard disk. It is. Okay. So what is this disk styling? Two things are there. One is whenever you insert a fresh hard disk or a new hard disk, so you have to initialize the disk as MBR or GPT. Okay, you have to initialize as a MBR or a GPT. You have a fresh hard disk, you inserted a new fresh hard disk. Okay, in disk management, you have to initialize as a MBR or GPT. If you initialize as a MBR, MBR means master boot recorder. Master boot recorder. If you initialize as an MBR record, so what will happen? At first sector, almost like a starting. Okay, in a hard disk, in this first sector, there is a table will create. That is your MBR record will be created in the hard disk. What it contains information about your partitions and size of the partitions, locations or a range of partitions, and location of operating system kind of stuff. Same goes for GPT also. In GPT also, you have a disk, you inserted a disk and you initialize as a GPT. It creates a table or a record in a first start of hard disk, which we cannot see. It is there inside your hard disk. So it will have a table or a record, nothing but a GPT record, GUID partition table record. It is also contains information about your hard disk and type of partitions information. Okay, partitions
What is the difference?
information, their ranges, sizes, and location of operating system or a bootable files, bootloader files location in this table. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what is the difference in between these two?
Very good. Very good. So you initialize as a MBR, means master boot record. In the hard disk, we can create a maximum of 4 primaries in olden days. Remaining space you cannot do with anything. For example, you have taken 500 GB hard disk. Think like 50, 50, 50, 50. 4 50s are completed, or 100, 100, 100, or 50, 100, 150. What are the combination? This remaining space become unused. The remaining space become unused. That is olden days like Windows XP, Windows 7, sorry, Windows XP 2009, okay, 2000. But from Windows Vista 7 onwards, what happened when you create a 3 primaries? Okay, first 3 partitions automatically primary type of partitions, and fourth is automatically a logical drive. Fourth is become automatically a logical drive in the extended partition. Logical drive in the extended partition, like this. This is the extended partition. Like this, we can create a number of logical drives. Means only 3 primary. After 3 primary completed, fourth one is automatically become extended logical. Earlier days, we have to define 3 primary completed, fourth one you can make it as a extended. In extended, you can create a logical drives. From Windows Vista 7 onwards, whenever you are creating a partition, it don't ask primary or extended or logical kind of stuff. When you create a first 3 primary partition, first 3 partitions automatically a primary partition. When you create a fourth one, it make a remaining space as an extended partition. Inside, it will create a logical drive. Okay. So point is, how many primaries you can create it? 3 primary, or 3 primary and 1 extended we can able to create it. In 1 extended we can create a logical drives. Number of logical drives you can create it. Multiple logical drives you can able to create. Guys, understand first point?
Yes, sir.
So how much size of partition we can able to create it? So we can create 200 GB, 400 GB like that, right? How much maximum size of single partition we can create it is 2 terabyte. Maximum size is up to 2 terabyte of single partition we can able to create. This is about MBR, master board record. In case you make it as a GPT, you insert a new hard disk and it is you go to disk management window and you selected as a GPT. What will happen? You can create multiple primary partitions like this. Okay, 128 primary partitions. One 128 partitions you can. No extended, no logical drives. And single partition, any single partition, you can create more than 2 terabyte. Up to 18 EB. Up to 18 EB. No extended, no logical partitions. Okay. Understand guys, MBR and GPT differences?
Yes.
So we are inserting new hard disk, but system already having one hard disk, right? In my system already I have one hard disk. Then I added another hard disk. Yeah, very good. I don't give training for interview. I will give interview tips. This is also one of the floating question. May not be asked. Okay, but important is not always in interview, guys. Also important is knowing about it. Okay, it is important for boot processing. Boot processing is important for a interview. That's the point. Okay. Okay. So what it is? No problem. You don't understand also not a big deal. Names are important. Like you do, I will try to show you practically also. Okay. So then we can see. Guys, in this one, in my system, I have already one hard disk is there. New hard disk, MBR and GPT. Okay. But what about the first hard disk? First hard disk time, you don't have operating system also. But the first hard disk, how it is become a MBR or a GPT. So you have a fresh system, no operating system, nothing. You have a system, new hard disk it is. Hard disk does not contain any operating system or any partition, fresh one, not initialized. So you don't have operating system, then you don't get a disk management tools. Then how you tell this hard disk is MBR or GPT? Okay. Of course, there is option, but I'm not going with an option part. Simple, remember guys, we discussed about BIOS. Your ROM chip is BIOS, your firmware is BIOS, or it can be UEFI. Okay. You are installing an operating system and you are using firmware is UEFI. Automatically, it is MBR record. It create a MBR record. Your disk partition style is MBR only automatically if you are using BIOS. Okay. It's a new system, UEFI. It's not BIOS now, it is UEFI. And you are installing new operating systems. New type of OS means Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, like that. Or a Red Hat Enterprise Linux, okay, Enterprise Linux 7 or 8, okay. So, new type of operating system, and your firmware is UEFI, okay, so it is automatically a GPT. Your firmware is BIOS, any new or old operating system, new operating system or old operating system. The disk initialized as MBR automatically. You are using a UEFI and newer type of operating system, it is mostly it will be initialized as a GPT only. But if you are using old operating system, UEFI won't support old operating system. First one is UEFI don't support old operating system, so you can't install. Of course, there is some flexibilities are there. BIOS UEFI combination systems are there. That time you install old operating system, it is MBR. Understand, guys? MBR and GPT. I have written here, so but I will try to. Well, I already showed disk management, disk part command, and Diskmgmt I just open. I will show you from here how MBR and GPT we can initialize by using some new hard disk. I am creating new VHD for you. There is batch 19, right? I am creating a 40 GB hard disk. So virtual hard disk. Very good. Don't worry what I am doing, guys. It is just I am trying to create a virtual hard disk for a practice purpose. It is blank disk, unallocated, black color, and it is showing not initialized. It is showing not initialized. It's not initialized as a MBR or a GPT. Guys, can you able to see that one? Not initialized.
Yes, sir.
Rightly initialize the disk. So can you see it is? You can initialize as a MBR or you can initialize as a GPT. I am trying to initialize as a MBR first. Now it is MBR disk. So you can see convert into GPT means it is a MBR disk. You want to see from the command. So third disk is 40 GB disk and it is MBR type of disk. In the MBR disk, how many primary we can able to create it? So first one I am creating as 10240 10 GB disk I am creating start. Okay, if you see I didn't given anything, it's a primary or extended kind of stuff. Okay, just it's a file system. Okay, so 10 GB disk is created. This is a my partition. 30 GB available. I'm creating a 4 GB disk. 10 GB created, this is 4 GB. So blue color means this blue color represent primary. I created 6 GB. Now 20 GB I created as a 3 partition. Primary, primary, primary. You can see primary name also. Guys, I am creating fourth one. It's MBR type. Another 4 GB. Fourth partition I am creating. I didn't mention what type of partition it is. But automatically it is a logical drive. You can see it is a logical drive. 16 GB free space, 4 GB, a logical drive under extended volume. You can see the border between these, on these two, there is a border extended partition. Okay. I can create a multiple So can you understand now what is MBR means and how to create a partition primary extended concept? Oh. No one is speaking, guys.
Yes, sir. What is this virtual hard drive means? What is the difference between this normal drives and this virtual hard drive?
Very good. Normal hard disk or virtual hard disk both store the data. Physical hard disk is a physical component you can attach and detach physically. Virtual hard disk is not a physical component. Okay, it is a simple file inside your thing. See, it is batch 18. For that one I created this virtual hard disk. Batch 15. When I want it, I can directly attach it. So I'm attaching this one. Simply mount or double click also it works.
So basically, we are dividing this from the this normal physical hard drive only, no?
Yeah, we are taking from a space like a file. It is like a file in the physical hard disk.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you store some data in this virtual hard disk. Data may not show directly, but it will be there in your physical hard disk only.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
That's the point. Okay. So this is a 40 GB hard disk. I make it as a MBR. So it's a 3 primary I created, 4th automatically extended volume, inside extended, we create a logical drives. Number of logical drives you can create. Yeah, this is a GPT type. Convert into MBR means this drive is particularly GPT type of drive. You want to see this? The 20 GB drive is GPT type of drive. So I'm creating a small partitions like 2 GB, 4 GB partition, 2048. So 2 GB partition because it's a 20 GB. See, one partition is created. Guys, this is disk 3 is a GPT type. Second is created. Three are created. What will happen if I create a fourth one? We'll see. So it's not creating extended volume. Okay, see it's not like this blue color. It's not creating extended volume. I'm creating a fifth one. So it's not creating any extended volume. Like this, you can create a 128 partitions. It's not exactly a primary partition, it's a but basic partition it is. Okay, it's not extended. Okay, no logical trace, no extended. In GPT type of disk, GPT partition style disk is only we can able to create 128 partitions plus each partition size we can take it up to more than 2 terabyte or up to 18 EB. Okay, so this is MBR and GPT difference. When it is partition, guys, when it is partition, you cannot convert into MBR and GPT. So you have to delete the volumes, then only we can able to convert. If you want it to convert, you can delete it from here. 6 plus 20, 76. Now, can you understand now? So this is convert into GPT. So you can convert into GPT. It's earlier MBR, now it is GPT. Okay. And attaching this one also. So understand, right? So initialization as MBR or GPT or and how to create a partitions in MBR primary and extended logical drives. In GPT type partition style, it is only primary partitions. Nothing, no response.
Yes, sir. Getting.
Okay. Okay, with pictures I written. So guys, look at here. Disk management means not only what I showed, also there is a creating simple volume that is I have shown, deleting volumes I have shown. What is this shrinking volume or extending volume? What is
Minimum.
shrinking volume and extending volume?
Minimizing the partition.
Very good. Here I have a disk. Already two partitions are created. Okay, this is 200 GB. This is 200 GB. This is 531 GB. My drive only, not just an example. My drive, H drive, 531 GB. It's a 1 terabyte of hard disk. 531 GB. Out of 531, 86.5 GB free space. 86.5 free space. So I have 86 GB.5 is available. So what I want to do is I want to shrink this value. Shrink this value. So I want to shrink 40 GB out of 86.5 free space. That's the free space I have in these days. Out of that one, I want to take 40 GB like this. Okay, I want a 40 GB like this. So when you shrink, when you've done a shrink, automatically it is 40 GB divided from there. So after 40 GB you shrink, what happened? It has become 46.5 free space. And this is become 491. Sizes become 491 plus 40. Shrink volume. First it will calculate how much you can able to shrink it. I need only 40 GB, 40960. I have taken only 4 GB, 40 GB, 40960 out of 86.5 GB. So it is 40 GB separated, my history becomes smaller. That's why good correct answer is shrinking the volume means we're reducing it. $491 total space, 531 to 491, 86.5 to 46.5, 40. So it is what type it is? Convert into GPT means it's a MBR disk. 3 prime completed. So I want to create a new partition. Automatically it is become automatically it is a
Partition MBR and GPT means
yeah, it's a logical drive in the
we
extended.
need to categorize it. Use any of them now.
It's a logical drive.
Okay.
Tell me.
I was asking why do we need this MBR and GPT partitioning? We can do normal partition also. Is there any speed difference or anything like that?
Yeah, maybe GPT is faster and GPT is a newer.
Okay, sir.
Earlier days in the disk management, means 98, 95 time. So there is a partitioning like a primary partition and primary active partition means where operating system is stored. The remaining partitions are used to store just data only, not to store operating system. Okay, so that method keep changes. Operating system by default it will choose the partition. So like when you tell this is the partition, obviously it is become MBR. The written rules like a first three are given a primary. So then user can install minimum three operating system in the three partitions. Dual boot operating system is also possible. Primaries are mainly designed for a operating system. Remaining extended volumes are designed for a regular data storage. Okay. So after MBR, GPT came into market. Then GPT, so we can create multiple partitions because of the designing is like this. In MBR, the limited table space. So you have to create only 3 primary. Then it is extended. Again, extended logical drives. MBR space is bigger. UEFI, MBR table size is bigger. So what happens? You can create more partitions. So then you can give it will allocate more table space for a information. Okay, MBR limited space, that designing is limited. Very good. Guys, understand how to shrink the volume, and after shrinking, already 3 primary completed, 4th one automatically become logical drive in the extended partition. Yes, so you can go to create a 5th logical drive in the free space. In this free space, I am going to create a simple volume 30 GB. I am creating only 2 GB out of 30 GB. Okay, guys, this is your one partition. I am deleting this. Generally, you got a laptop. Usually, office laptops are not for a. Delete this one also. You should not touch inside. But if you are got a new laptop or new desktop, only one partition or two partitions are there, and huge size of the disk space is there, and you don't want to store into single part. Like I want to store, like earlier I got this laptop, C drive, D drive, C drive, this D drive, only two partitions. So what I have done, I shrink the C drive and I make it as a small parts like a 200 GB extra, and I created two drives. Later I don't get more space in the drives, so I combine those two things and become F drive. So earlier I have a F drive, G drive, two drives, both are 100 GB, 100 GB. Not enough space, I combine both, it becomes 200 GB. Okay, so like that we can do it. Okay, so this is shrinking volume. So when you see your disk space is huge but lesser the data, so you want to keep certain space to out, so then another drive we can able to create it using this one. I got a 40 GB unallocated. I want to combine this 40 GB to 491. Okay, this is unallocated. I want to combine it back to this remaining space. So right click, extend volume. So right click on H drive only, extend volume. Next, so it is showing 40 GB directly. Now volume next. Okay, this is what we are saying, disk management, creating a new simple volume, shrinking volume, extend volume, and deleting the volumes. Guys, are you okay up to here? Understand shrinking
Yes, sir.
volumes, extending volumes, deleting volumes. చెప్పండి anything there. Okay. Yeah, why today everybody is silent? Any fear?
No, sir.
Sleeping, Monday effect? 2 days, after 2 days we are trying.
Yes, sir. Monday effect.
Okay, so here it is, file system. So this is the, after this one I will give you a small break. Then usually boot processing we have to go, but tomorrow I will tell boot processing because that is one of the important question, plus lot of at least five points are there, plus troubleshooting is there.
And sir, what are the topics which are left
You tell me.
before the topics which are left before the interview?
I don't know about your interview dates because it's not notification, not is given to me. But up to here, whatever we discuss, please continue with that one. And already I given some questions also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hard disk, SSD, all these things are there. What is BSOD? So anyway, tomorrow we're going to discuss some more on this. Time is not enough. File system. What is the file system? I want to store a data in the partition, right? Maybe it is a music file, maybe it is a normal regular files or video files or operating system file or application files. I want to store data in the partition. But how it will be stored? For example, you have a whiteboard. You want to put a class. How you put a class? So in whiteboard there is armoras, right? So there is a separations. So this is for this one. This is like you will allocate and you arrange in a proper order. So then you can keep more things into that one, right? So sometimes a locker in between kind of stuff. Okay. So this file system also same thing. File system also same thing. File system tells how to store data or allocate data in the device or a drive. Okay. To store data in the device, like if it can be a pen drive, it can be a hard disk, it can be a CD-ROM, it can be external hard disk, it can be SSD, there must be a file system. Without a file system, we don't know how to store data, we don't know how to arrange data. So file system will tell how to arrange the data in the disk or a drive or a device. Okay. Two type of file system mostly widely used in a Windows operating system, and we are using NTFS. We are using NTFS file system. Okay. FAT very less we are using. Earlier days we used FAT file system. Now we are using NTFS. But both are there, and mostly we are using NTFS. In a FAT also two type of FAT file system. One type of FAT file system is supports 4 GB drive size. FAT32 is another file system which support up to 32 GB partition size or a drive size. Partition size, exactly. One second. That is back. Okay. NTFS support more than 2 terabytes and up to 18 EB as per certain textbooks. NTFS also having certain features as compared to FAT file system, like a security, encryption, compression, quota, indexing. Security means you have a file, the file or a data folder, picture, okay? So it contains security, like a user is there. You can say like this particular user is allowed to read or allowed to write or not allowed to read or not allowed to write kind of stuff. Okay. User can able to, he can define read and write access on the files. For example, you take a file or folder, anything, no problem. Go to properties, settings, security. See this? A user can able to allow or deny read, write, execute kind of stuff. Okay, so you can define permissions, security. Encryption. You can encrypt the data so other user cannot able to access your data until unless they have a key. Encrypted key is there. Without a key, they can't able to access your data. No need to give special permission to it. They need a key to access your data. Compression. What is meant by compression? It compresses the data, so then size on the disk means the data size on the disk is you can save. Like you have a 50 GB data, you compress it, it become 40 GB. So 10 GB still available in your hard disk. So compression feature, you can compress the data. Indexing. You can index the data, so then it is very useful for searching your files or your information shortcut wise. Indexing. Disk quota. Quota means, if you have a multiple users, this is 200 GB hard disk. People are keeping data. Different users are trying to put a certain data. So what I have done, we created a quota for each user. This user only get 20 GB. This user will get 30 GB. Okay. This user will get a 100 GB. Okay, like a disk quota. So that is you're given 20 GB means user 2 can able to put a data up to 20 GB inside. Okay, maximum 20 GB data he can store and guarantee he will get 20 GB from the disk. That is called disk quota. Okay, the disk difference between FAT and NTFS file system, file allocation table, new technology file system. Guys, where the FAT is used? Earlier we are used, and why now people are using? Memory cards, pen drives usually uses this FAT file system. So it's not like that, but still you can format as a FAT. Why FAT? FAT is a universal acceptable file system. Like you are having a Unix system, Android system, Windows system. So all accept FAT. But FAT has a limitation. FAT32 gives up to 32 GB partition size. But nowadays the memory cards, your pen drives are more than 32 GB, right? More than 32 GB. Earlier we have 1 GB, 2 GB, that time very great. But now it is 32 GB, 64 GB, 128 GB, like that. Okay. 2 terabyte up to 2 terabyte, the memory cards are available. So FAT don't support more than 32 GB, but I want to store into the drive in a single space like a 64 GB kind of stuff. Or I want to store big files. FAT32 won't support. So then they build a EXFAT, extended FAT. Extended FAT support more than 32 GB storage, and big files also we can store. Another file system is REFS, Resilient File System. There is a CRC concept. It's an algorithm, cyclic redundancy check is an algorithm which prevents data from corrupting. So you put a data, you change the data, you modify the data, you access data, okay, transferring the data. So what happens? CRC will create one CRC, using CRC algorithm, it creates some data priority bits kind of stuff. So it will verify data is good or corrupted. That is the point of CRC. You can recover data also. If you use Linux or Unix operating system, file systems are usually XFS or a ext file system, ext, ext2, ext3, ext4. When you share data through network, you can use a file system called NFS and CAFS. Network file system, CAFS, common internet file system. Even you use devices like a DVD use a file system called a universal disk file system. What is meant by format? So normally on a disk, you right click and say format. What is meant by format? It define or redefining the file system. Okay, format does not mean removing everything. It is file system defining. Okay, how to define a file system? Using format. Okay, so you want to make a partition as a FAT file system or NTFS file system or EXFAT. What to do? Format. It is define or redefine the file system. Okay. Okay, that's the point, guys. So next one is you have to discuss either boot processing. Boot processing need a lot of attention. Operating system is there. Yeah, that's it for today. Okay. Now
Sir,
is
so
yeah,
you
tell
can
me.
tell us about this. You can tell today about Outlook and Office 365 in detail. Half an hour is still left.